not to throw any shade at one particular comic book movie franchise, but if this were any other superhero film, that big character appearance at the end of Superman wouldn't have been before the credits, but long after half the theater had emptied after treading through left-behind bags of popcorn. Instead, director James Gunn debuts the wonderfully messed-up Supergirl, Millie Alcock, the next metahuman to get her own film in the DC Studios lineup, before the film's end, as she swings by the Fortress of Solitude to pick up her dog, Krypto. So where does that leave the film in regards to post-credit scenes? Well, you'll be happy to know that Gunn has given viewers not only a mid-credit scene, but also a post-credit scene to cap his film off. Are they absolutely essential viewing to keep up to speed with where the DCU is headed next? Absolutely not. But just like a lot of James Gunn-directed comic book movies, they're very likely to put a smile on your face for the right reasons. One of them involves the biggest scene stealer of the whole film, and another is just two heroes hashing things out over a job well done-ish. Superman's mid-credit scene is a picture-perfect moment with Krypto. Remember when our first look at Krypto arrived and the comic book movie-loving world let out a universal "aww" at the sight of the scruffy supermutt sitting with Superman on the moon? Well, that's what we get in the first of two credit scenes, and honestly, it's a charming little moment in motion, too. After a jam-packed and, dare we say, supersized comic book movie that saw Lex seemingly brought to justice, Kal-El saving the day, and the government even wearier about what danger metahumans could bring to the planet, Clark takes a brief moment away on the moon with a rather sprightly Krypto for some peace and quiet, to remind himself what it's all about. Following the prominent trend of post-credit scenes in Gunn's previous work, excluding the Peacemaker tease at the end of the Suicide Squad, this feels more like just a nice little button to stick on the end of an otherwise epic comic book movie that managed to do everything it needed to before the credits rolled. Admittedly, it might be out of place chronologically, given that we last saw Krypto, he was being taken off of Clark's hands by his cousin Kara. Honestly, though, who cares about that if it means we get one last minute with the furry tornado? After that, Gunn leaves us with one final comedic beat just for the hell of it. Superman's post-credit scene proves Mr. Terrific isn't perfect. After that charming moment with one man and his cousin's dog, we're then transported back down to Metropolis, where Supes and Mr. Terrific are assessing the damage left by the dimensional tear that Lex caused. It turns out that while Terrific might have put the city back together, the cracks are quite literally showing, which Clark bashfully points out. It feels like a meta comic book movie moment, given the last standalone Superman film saw Henry Cavill's Man of Steel turn Metropolis to rubble, and now here we are with two of DC's finest discussing a crack in a building. A little peeved about having his work criticized, Mr. Terrific walks away disgruntled, leaving Clark feeling pretty bad about even bringing it up. "Dang it," he says to himself, "I can be a real jerk sometimes." This provides another opportunity for Cornsweat to show that he's the perfect fit for James Gunn's interpretation of the Man of Tomorrow. In what feels like one of the most comic book accurate moments in the movie, the man who could tear the world apart if he wanted to, instead appears to have spoken out of turn regarding Mr. Terrific's work. His reaction highlights that, beyond being a good hero, Clark is, more importantly, a good man, even if he occasionally puts his foot in his mouth at super speed from time to time. Superman is in theaters now.